Hello, everybody. It is Mr. Doucette, the high school social studies teacher at Wisconsin Virtual Learning, here today to go through with you the basics of Google Drive access. So, to get us started, first of all, we have to find where Google Drive is located. So, when you open up Google Chrome, you can find it in one of two places. Number one, if you frequent Google Drive enough, like I do, it'll show up in your favorites down here on Google. So Google will automatically populate that. As you can see, I have a couple of different favorites that have shown up on my page here. So Google is trying to create shortcuts for me already. Now, if Google Drive does not populate for you, that's okay, because there are other locations to find it. If you are on a Google page, say Drive or Sites or the Gmail, for instance, you will always see in the upper right corner the Google Apps checkerboard. So if you click on that checkerboard, all of the Google apps will pop up. You have Gmail, you have Calendar, Slides, Drive, Doc, Sheets, and so on. So again, if you're looking to find Google Drive, you go here, you can click on Google Drive, it'll bring you to your Google Drive. And if those two options do not work, you can always type in the URL bar Google Drive, which will then Google Drive for you. So you click on that, we go to our personal, and there you go. You are in your Google Drive. So there's actually three ways. I initially said two. So there's actually three ways to get into Google Drive. So now once you're in Google Drive, you'll see all your files, your folders, and everything that you've set up for yourself. Now, again, mine probably looks very different than yours because I do have an array of emails and folders and things that I've just collected over the years that I use on a day-to-day basis. The next part of this is setting up folders and documents and so on. So what we're going to look at is we're going to click on the new button over here, and we're going to go through the various options. So the first one is folder. This is if you want to create a folder inside your Google Doc to organize yourself. Almost all students are going to create a folder within Google Drive that will be shared with their teachers. All of your homework will be placed in this folder so that your teachers do have access to your work. The other options on here, file upload. If you want to upload a couple of different documents at once, you can do that. You can upload a whole folder from your computer into Google Drive. And then you have your options of Google Docs, Google Sheets, Google Slides, and then more, which gives you more options of the different apps such as Forms, Drawings, Maps, and Sites. So you have different options within Google Drive to create things and to organize things. So when we think of Google Drive, we really have to think of it as our virtual locker. This is where all of our assignments are going to be housed. This is where everything that you do as a student will be saved and stored. So what we're going to do now is we're going to create a new folder. Okay, so we create a new folder, and we're going to title this folder US History. Okay, and then once we're done, we're going to hit the create button. Now, I've gone ahead and already created a folder, so I do not need to do that. So I am not going to hit create for this video. However, if you are setting this up, do make sure that you hit create, and that will populate a new folder on your page. So as I mentioned before, I do have a folder that is already set up, US History, and I'm going to click on that and go into that folder. Now, in the folder, you can see that I've created two semester folders. A good recommendation for students is that if you are in a year-long course, you might want to break your US History folder into subfolders. So I have gone ahead and created a semester 1 and a semester 2 option in the US History folder. So now when I'm working on all of my homework assignments for semester 1, they're going to be in the semester 1 folder, not all scattered around alphabetically inside the folder. This will be much easier to manage from a student standpoint. So again, you will be able to look and find anything that you've worked on in semester 1 right in that folder. And the same thing will happen second semester as well. Once second semester hits, students can start populating work into their second semester folders. Now, earlier I did mention that students are going to have to share their folders with their teachers. Now, there are a couple of different ways to go about doing this. If you are already in the Google Drive folder, all you have to do is simply go up to here where the folder's title is, so U.S. History, and right-click on that. And then when you right-click on that, you're going to see a menu option pop up. You see Open With, New Folder, Share, Get Shareable Links, Move to, Star, Rename, Change Color, and more. So again, in the case of this video, we want to share this folder. So we're going to go down, we're going to click on Share, and again, a menu will pop up. So for this video, we're just going to pretend that Mrs. Benson teaches U.S. history. Obviously, she doesn't. She's the English teacher. But for the video, we're just going to share this with Mrs. Benson. So I created my U.S. history folder. I'm going to go in here, and I'm going to type in Mrs. Benson's name. So I'm going to type in her last name, Benson, and there it goes. Her name populates right here with her email. If I click on that, she is now added to the list. Now, when we're looking at all of this, there are a couple other options as well. So if you click over here on the right, you can give your teachers different access. Okay, so there's can organize, add, and edit, and then there's can view only. In the situation for students, we're always going to leave this open as can organize, add, and edit, because what this will do is it will allow your teachers to leave comments and possibly proofread or edit as needed for any of the assignments that you have. If you give us just viewing options only, we as teachers cannot leave feedback or comments, which is going to be very valuable for you as we progress through the school year. So if you do give us can view only, there's a good chance that your teachers might kick the assignment back to you and say you need to open this back up for us down the road. So to avoid more work for you down the road, just simply leave it as the default, can organize, add, and edit, and then things will be good to go there. The other option that you want here is click on Notify People. What will happen is once I click Share with this folder, it will send your teacher an email notification to their school Gmail account. So it'll say that Mr. Doucette has now shared this U.S. history folder with Mrs. Benson, and then it'll give a link for Mrs. Benson to click on that folder. If you want to type a quick note to your teacher, that's fine. Otherwise, when you're just setting up and organizing your classes, there's no need to really type in a note. But if you want to say hi, how was your summer, something like that, feel free to add that in the box as well. And then once we're done with that, all you have to do is hit send. And that's it. So we sent that. It now says it's been shared with one person. And now we will know that this folder is shared because of this little icon that is now populated up here next to the U.S. history folder. We can see that there's more than one person on here. It shows that I am the owner of this folder, and I can change the share settings at any time if I'd like to. But again, going back to what I said before, the folder should be set up in a way that it is now just share, add, and edit and change ability, not the view only. Now, so we've shared a document, we've set it up. The next step is going to be sharing documents and homework assignments. Now, the nice thing is once you have set up your shared folder on Google Drive, there is no need for you to send or click on the share button in the future. So as long as any assignment has been placed in this folder, in the initial U.S. history folder, Mrs. Benson will now have access to everything in this folder. So if you create subfolders for semester 1 and semester 2, Mrs. Benson has access to that. if I create a Google Doc assignment in this folder, okay, so we're going to call this test folder assignment. And then I'm going to go, this is just a test. All right, that's our assignment. We're done. We've met all the requirements for the assignment. Now all I have to do to turn this assignment in is simply go up to the share button. And you can see that it's already shared with one other person. So Mrs. Benson already has access to this. So we do not need to notify her or share anything. All we need to do to turn this assignment in is click on the shareable link. Link has been copied to the clipboard. I always like to click on copy again just in case, and that's it. Just hit done. And then you will go into your Canvas drive, paste the link, and you're done. Okay, you paste that link, you hit submit in Canvas, that assignment is turned in. Very, very, very important step to that. Okay, so you do not need to type in our names down here. Okay, as long as everything has been placed into your folder, it's automatically shared with us. And the reason I emphasize this a lot is because as the year progresses and we get more new students that are joining us, sometimes students forget that they don't have to not hit the share button. Sometimes they'll continue to hit the share button. So if we get 5 new students and there's 2 assignments a week, that's roughly 10 extra emails of just share notifications that do kind of spam the teachers' inboxes a little bit. And sometimes we're not always grading off of the emails that you generate. Instead, we're grading from Canvas. So just by you sending us an email, it's kind of an unnecessary step that just really kind of bogs down everything and gets lost in the shuffle. So by avoiding sending out those emails, it's actually easier for your teachers to grade your homework than it is for you to hit share. And which seems kind of backwards, right? We typically think, well, if I hit share, my teacher's got it. We know we're good to go there, and at least they have it in their email box. But sometimes things do get lost or sent to the spam filter at times. So we don't want to make sure that we lose track of sharing capabilities. So again, as long as everything is housed in this folder, that's fine. Okay, so now if I take this test assignment, and I'm just going to close out of this here. So if I take this test assignment and move it into semester 1, it's going to prompt me, moving this item will share it with everyone who can see the shared folder. So again, Mrs. Benson has access to the U.S. history folder and all of its contents in this folder. So that is okay. We'll hit okay, and there it goes. It goes into the semester 1 cabinet, and Mrs. Benson still has access to these documents. Okay? And again, as you go through this and you're navigating through this, this will make more sense the more you interact with it. But if you do have questions about sharing, please ask your teachers right away. We're happy to show you and kind of help you through that process so that you can make this entire journey of online learning and Google Drive be a very seamless process for you. And so that's the end of this video, and I just want to thank everyone for watching.